Good afternoon, everyone. It's Weekend Update. No, it's not SNL. This is Don Paul Blathers, and I'm just updating the forecast for the weekend and the week coming ahead. And yes, we all know it's cool and clammy. We have been and will stay dry this afternoon, but look at those temperatures 2 p.m. temperatures in the low 50s in western New York. But just if this helps anyone's morale, it is not a local problem. Look at these current temperatures. We've got some 40s in Illinois, and we drop all the way to Texas, and we're seeing in Texas 50s around San Antonio and Austin. Would you guess that's below average? Look at these current readings. The heat is on as it typically would be by mid-May in Florida, accompanied by uncomfortable humidity. I know some of you say to yourself, "Ooh, that sounds good." Ooh, as Merv Griffin used to say. Not to me, but to each their own, as the cliche goes. And some warmth and humidity going up through South and North Carolina, at least the eastern parts of those states. The upper level flow is responsible for a lot of this, and it continues to be a dip in the jet stream where we see blocking that's caused largely by high pressure stacked up in a mountain over Greenland off this map. And that forces the northern branch of the jet stream to buckle in a blocking pattern, and we're not in the best part of the blocking pattern. If you were under a ridge of high pressure, like out here, you'd be warm and dry. We've got this trough of low pressure bringing in the cool air. And while today is a dry day, the winds are very light, and for squishified lawns and fields, that's not a good thing. We could have used more of a breeze today to help out with the evaporation. You get much more water vapor coming off the land when there's a good stiff breeze. Well, there's a good breeze aloft. This is 18,000 feet up. That doesn't really help us down here on the ground. And by the way, this shaky video that those few of you, those tens of thousands of you who have been tuning in to YouTube, will be remedied coming up very shortly. I have ordered a good tripod for this phone, so we will no longer be dependent on my coffee-stricken hands to hold the phone. But let's look at precipitation. These are National Weather Service Doppler radar returns in time lapse, and nothing, as I said, we'll be getting here for a while, but there is a healthy batch of soaking rain over Illinois, just barely reaching Chicago now, a few light showers getting into southern Michigan, some showers and thunderstorms over Virginia, but we are safe from that stuff. Into the evening hours, let's look at some model output, and in this model, we don't really start to see that batch of rain getting in here until about 4 in the morning. It reaches the southern tier. In the first batch in the model, shifts off well to the southeast of the Niagara frontier in the metro area. And then a little rain does move up north during 8, 9, 10 in the morning, but that first batch tends to dissipate. But the rain will be making a for sure comeback later in the day. So tomorrow's rain does not look to be a steady all-day event on the Niagara frontier. It's not going to be a good-looking day, and the spacing of these lines, the isobars, lines of equal barometric pressure, indicates a fairly brisk east breeze, 12 to 20 miles an hour or so, then that's going to add an extra chill to the air. So there will be some rain-free time for you to run errands and do what you want to do, as long as it's in the law that it's okay. But the rain, as I said, makes a comeback later in the day. This is late afternoon, and then we get into what appears to be some soaking, probably non-flooding, but soaking rain tomorrow night as an area of low pressure begins to pull into Ohio, with more to come on Monday. That area of low pressure Monday morning is around Erie, Pennsylvania. And then again, we see some pretty good batches of rain where you see yellow that indicates soaking rain in the model. And then we start to see a diminishing trend in the rainfall coverage as we get into Tuesday. A few leftover showers, but a lot of rain-free time, maybe even a peek at the sun on Tuesday. Our next really bright day looks to be Wednesday, and here we are, midday Wednesday, some showers to the west of us, but we should be partly to mostly sunny, and that alone will allow temperatures to crack the 60-degree mark. We should get to at least the low 60s, still a smidge below average, but lots more tolerable. Then there may be the return of some spotty showers by late Wednesday night and portions of Thursday at this very early point. That doesn't look to be a steady rain. Friday, maybe a couple of showers later in the day, but a lot of rain-free time. And the early signs in this model, the American GFS model, and also the Canadian model. Let me click on that for the same time period. The early look at next weekend is more optimistic, as these models are keeping those showers you see to our south to our south. So the signs are that next weekend, while it won't feel like June, will feel a little better, and there will be fewer threats from any, and maybe no threat from precipitation. So that's a little optimism. Let's just take a short look before we sign off here at the upper air pattern, which is the secret to the movement of storm systems and fair weather systems. And you see that sagginess over the north central United States. And here we get into Monday. We still got lower pressures, and we don't see any persistent building of warm, high pressure looming up into our region. That lasts. There may be, in fact, I think there will be some days where we do get readings moving up above average. It looks like here we're looking at next weekend, for example. See this little bulging in these lines? This is upper level flow, showing some warming high pressure building up into the Midwest, and that could really help. And then we get into early the following week, Monday and Tuesday, and we are seeing a trend here for milder than what we've got. Not midsummer heat, but finally something of a pattern change showing up in today's guidance in this ensemble of models. So we'll end with an optimistic note, and hopefully when we meet again, I will have more optimism than I've had the last few YouTube Don Paul Blathers. Otherwise, I'm going to have to hire private security. Don't forget, steadier video is coming. This alone is a cause for celebration for the tens of thousands of you, all right, tens of you, who've been tuning in to Don Paul Blathers. Talk to you soon.